Ooh-wee. You are lucky you have stumbled upon this week's episode of Convincing Idiots. You're not going to be disappointed. We talk about the Golden Globes. We talk about the Stanley Cup. And we even get into our own villainous of each other. Who are we as villains? Find out that, and we also talk about movies. These movies take place in one day. What are our favorites? Our Mount Rushmore of movies that take place in one day. That and so much more on This Week in Convincing Idiots. You're lucky you're here. We're lucky to have you. So, stick around and let's start the show.
All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian GenX.
And I am the co-host that can follow simple directions. I am Millennial Nick, and this is Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of three friends representing three different generations. We get together each and every week to discuss nerd and pop culture items of the day. So, if you're new here and you've not already done so, please feel free to find us on all of the social media accounts that you use. To conveniently find links to all of ours, I would like to tell you to go to our Linktree. So just type into Google Convincing Idiots Linktree, Linkree, and when you get there, it'll be a lovely little itemized list for you of our social media accounts in which you can go follow, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that type of fun stuff. Also on there will be a link to our web store. That's right, we have merch, so if you feel you would like to support the show in that way or others, you can buy some merch. You can also find all that information and so much more on our website, and that is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So head on over there as well, and let us feel some of your love. So we are here for another episode of Convincing Idiots, turds, and we are... What have we been up to in the last week? Brian, what's going on, man?
What did we do last week? So,
We drink beer in a ballroom.
Ooh,
yes, we did do
like
that.
Fancy
That's right.
times. A ballroom.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a nice time. Yeah, so last Saturday,
I made room and Brian grabbed my balls.
Zennial, Dean, and I attended the Summit County Brew Path event. So there's a bunch of local breweries, and if you visit each one throughout the year, you get like a passbook thing. They stamp your book, and you get to go to this event at the beginning of the next year. A lot of cool breweries, a lot of good food. It was like a very good event. So definitely
I was surprised
enjoyed
by how good
that.
the food was.
So
Yes.
are breweries there as well?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
are
all
they,
of
is
them.
it like,
Yeah,
oh,
lined
okay,
up
cool.
against the wall, and you just walked around and grabbed beer and drank them and
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
I mean, they give you tickets, but you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes out the window pretty quick. But basically,
Right.
you just have as much samples until they run out or the
Yep.
event's over with. So, but it was good. There's nothing, no one got crazy and dumb. It was just a nice event. We met a very nice couple hanging out there as well. So yeah,
Yep.
it was cool.
So you guys
And
went on a
somebody
double date.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
Well, the girls didn't go with us. Just us.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
you said another nice
Well,
couple.
the other couple.
So it was-
Yeah.
yeah, right.
That's right.
You'd be amazed, Nick, on how many, like numerically, if you go into the city of Akron and you put so many people in a room, how many different ex-girlfriends of Brian's you will run into.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah. There was a number of them. Yeah, one actually, and I was proud, and I stuck my chest was puffed out for a while because she looked at me and she goes, "You're Nick." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Oh.
But
Yes,
no,
that's true.
yeah,
That is a true story.
I was mistaken for you.
By
Mhm.
whom?
One of my ex-girlfriends.
One of his ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, really nice girl,
Oh.
Wendy.
Oh.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh yeah, Wendy. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
I remember Wendy. Yeah,
Well, apparently
nice.
she
Yeah,
doesn't
that's-
remember you or me.
that's nice that she. Yeah,
That's what
she
just said
remembered
there.
my name, and that makes
Right.
me feel special.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. Sunday went out to watch the Cowboys game with some folks, so that was cool. Good victory there. They needed to win the division, so that was fun. And
Yeah.
A
And the
5
Eagles
day-
lost again to the Giants.
that's right. That was fantastic.
Fucking losers.
That's right. And then it's back to work this week. 5-day work week. First 5-day work week in several
That's
weeks,
dumb.
which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. Looking forward to the weekend and more good times. So that's it. How are you, Nick? How's it going with you, sir?
I'm doing well. I had a good weekend. Nothing too eventful. Just kind of laid low. At least I think I did. Like, it's kind of like, I know it was relaxing, but I can't really remember much about the weekend, really. I just like, all I really recall is just like Monday. Like, my mind was just absolutely blown on Monday. Like, I
What's that
sat
M stand
down.
for? Moron.
I sat down Monday, Victory Monday, and I, sat down with my local Michigan craft beers, and I enjoyed a nice college football game, and I watched the perfect season completed as the Michigan Wolverines became national champions, and it was just it was a really nice week, nice little cap to the weekend. So good sports, good times, championships were had. It's a lot of fun. So that's basically it for me. But no, we dinner and a movie on Saturday, played hockey Friday, all that stuff. But little low dosage gummy on Sunday. Nice little weekend. But Monday was the tops capper.
Mhm.
So yes. So hail to the victors, Michigan national champions. Wow, you guys like my claws?
Yeah, very good.
I stole them
Very
from my
good.
children.
Seeing you dressed in all that Michigan gear, I really have this strange fear that you're going to look over my shoulder tonight and read and steal my my jokes or my read for Blake Insurance later.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Nice. Oh, you're okay. Well, you may say what you want. All I can say is, if this is what cheating feels like, it's fucking fantastic because it feels great to be a champion. I just gotta say, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
nothing to see here.
Don't ask my wife that.
Yeah.
The ex-wife might think a little bit differently.
One thing I'll say is, man, at the end of that game, watching the post game stuff, Jim Harbaugh is weird, man. Sorry,
He's a
just
weird dude. He's a
just
weird
dude, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a weird dude. He's I was a little thrown by the one comment that he made when interviewed, that he said that this team was like the confetti that was falling from the sky. Each piece of these pieces of confetti has a story and something. I was like,
What?
I think you're getting a little too like meta right now. Like, I don't really know that everybody was following you down the but I was I was most of all happy for him. I mean, the kid's
Somebody
come
should
and
have
go.
stolen a
But,
victory
man,
speech.
he's been there for fucking ever, and he's the last Harbaugh to win a championship. So good for him. There we go.
Do you think he'll go to the NFL, Nick?
I don't know. There's a lot of rumors. I guess I heard that U of M offered him, what was it? It was like a $90-some million contract over 10 years. Or
I hear there might
80.
be an opening up in Alabama.
Yeah,
There is one opened up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he would leave to go to another college.
No.
I mean, that's his alma mater, and the ties to Michigan are too strong. But I mean, if he were to go back to the NFL, I mean, there's a lot of rumors. People are saying it's almost some people are reporting that it's basically a done deal with him in San Diego. So I don't know. There's a lot of things rolling around. I mean, a lot of NFL head coaches are moving around right now.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
7 openings.
it's been my plan to do this entire show with these claws on. I'm going to try to do it as long as I can, but I don't know. It's kind of difficult. It's weird. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it was fun. It was the perfect season. It was a lot of fun.
Very good.
So, Dean, what did you do this weekend?
Well,
Big fella.
like we had said before, we went ahead and went on and drank beer together in the ballroom, Brian and I.
Mhm.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. Great event. And Brian, if I don't know if you can, this makes a difference on the YouTube channel or on the podcast feed, but if you can tell that may sound different, maybe sound a little crisper, because Brian, for my birthday, got me these new headphones for the podcast here.
Nice.
Mhm.
And for next year's birthday, he got you the tech support to help get him hooked up tonight.
That's right.
So don't expect anything next year.
Then I got the full comic book, literally the books of all the comics put together. Superman, The Death of Superman, and Superman Returns.
Very cool.
And and a bottle of whiskey. My man treats me right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, just hung out with kids, had a good time. Yeah, it's about all to report, right?
Very good. All right. Well, when we get to some idiot reviews here, guys, if you watched or listened or seen anything, whatever you wish to recommend out there, Nick, when we start with you.
Yeah, I saw a couple different things. Saturday, we went to the movie theater and saw Wonka with Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I really liked it a lot. Very good. I mean, I'm not the biggest, I don't know, I've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I've seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And they're fine. I'm not like the biggest, fan, but it was a very enjoyable movie. Very cool. I thought he did a great job. When I first heard that he was cast to play Wonka, much like many people on the internet, everybody was like, why wasn't it what's his face from Shameless and The Bear? And I can't think of his name right now. He's in that new movie, that new wrestling movie too. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But Timothy Chalamet did an incredible job. Just fun movie, for the whole family. The kids were very entertained by it. And definitely some catchy songs and stuff in there as well. Definitely some cool callbacks to the, paying homage to the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So definitely would recommend that. I'm not going to go over this one too much more because, Brian, you mentioned it last week, but I did see Chappelle's new stand-up. That also, Dave Chappelle, you know what you're getting. He never disappoints. He's fantastic. This one wasn't necessarily one of my favorites all time of his. It wasn't the best, but it was fine. It was good and it had some really, really good parts in it as well. So that was very good. And then we watched a Netflix documentary called Hell Camp. It was a camp in the late 80s, early 90s, founded by an ex-Marine who basically started this program that advertised, late 80s, early 90s, children are starting to rebel and parents are worried about their kids. So when they think they're getting too out of control, they contact these people and they
send you to hell camp.
They advertise taking them and spending time outside and in nature and really getting them back to their roots, treating their parents better, all that stuff. But what actually happens is essentially these parents pay these people. They come in the middle of the night, whisk them away. They basically kidnap their children. Never tell them where they're going. They take them out to the fucking desert. They don't give them shit. They have to hike miles and miles for a day or more on end to get to their next meal. They're out in if anything were to happen to these kids, which eventually in some cases it did, there's no way for, medics to get to you conveniently or easily. You were literally out in the desert. So it was really interesting. Obviously, there was tons of lawsuits and things like that. And
the 80s were amazing.
Some kids died. There was everything under the sun, sexual assault. People were starving and beaten and all this shit. So
don't fucking act up.
I got out of hand, right? Yeah. You're going to treat your mom better? You're going to treat your fucking mom better?
That sounds like Brian and mine Saturday night.
But yeah, those are my three. That's what I watched this weekend. So, Dean, what did you watch?
Yep.
Other than Brian's handsome face across a ballroom.
I
Yeah.
did watch. We did that. He lifted me up like Dirty Dancing.
Dirty
I ran
Dancing?
across it and held me up. It was
Fantastic.
Mhm.
amazing. No, I watched Haunting in Venice.
Yeah, great movie.
Fantastic. Nick, I don't know if you're familiar. It's what is it? Kenneth Branagh and Tina Fey. It's kind of
Agatha Christie, who Hercule, whatever, the
Poirot.
detective. Poirot, thank you.
Hercule Poirot. This is the second one of these movies that they've done. It's
Third, actually.
Third. What's the other one?
Murder on the Orient Express was the first
Right.
one. And then they had the one I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I can't think of that. It's the second one now. And then
Once
this
Upon a
one.
Time
So,
in Mexico.
no, not that. No.
That's not it. That's the wrong one.
Oh,
Anyways, they're all very good.
Very good. Also, we started watching Reacher on Prime. I don't know if you are familiar with the movies or TV
I know it.
show.
I haven't watched it.
I've heard of Reacher. I've seen like a trailer or something.
Yeah.
Of it.
If you, I didn't know exactly what I was getting myself into. So through the first half of the first season, I was annoyed. I didn't like it. I thought it was bad acting. It's still not the best acting, and the writing got better. But as you start watching, you start realizing what this actually is. This is a 1980s movie now, right? And once you go through a lot of it, and you're realizing the much of just willy-nilly killing that's happening throughout, this small town and whatnot, you realize, oh my God, this is like almost the real version of what is the John Cena one?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that TV show he did.
Peacemaker.
There it is. Yeah.
Peacemaker. He is like, you could easily swap these two actors, and it would be the same.
Okay.
It's like a real idea of the Peacemaker show.
Okay.
We've now today started the second season, and Brian sent me a text. He said the second season got better reviews, and it is better. Like, the writing is better. It's kind of honing in on the character a little better. The actor's doing a little better job, but still not the best acting, not the best writing, but the fight scenes are awesome. I mean, this guy he's a monster of a man. He just kicks ass. It's pretty cool. So I actually do recommend Reacher.
Okay.
After getting into that, I started Echo. Any of you guys watch Echo?
I have. I'm on the last episode.
I know we've talked about it on that. What is it?
It's a bad Marvel TV show. That's what it is, Nick.
I don't think it's. I don't
really
think it's that
bad.
But is it? Who is that? Is Echo the character? Is this?
Yes.
Is that, okay.
She appeared in the
Kingpin's in it and
Hawkeye.
Daredevil's in it.
You didn't see the Hawkeye series. She made her debut there, but she's deaf.
Okay.
She's deaf, and she has like a prosthetic leg.
Yep. And there was a weird dirt alien inside the Earth, alien nudity in the beginning. Did you catch that, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that for Marvel, but yep,
Well,
there's
like
nudity.
Like the ancient Indian spirits and ancestors and stuff.
Does it pay off? Does all of that make sense later? Because I don't understand what's going on in the show. They kind of reshot a lot of stuff from Hawkeye. Some scenes that instead of giving you a recap and just showing you what they showed in Hawkeye, they reshot a lot of it because it's not the same scene. Or it's not the same shots. It's
like her ancestors are channeling through her, and she gets different powers like through them in some respects. It's like when they're, so that's where it sort of is paying off. Like I said, I'm on the last episode now, so it's all building up to another confrontation with Kingpin. So we'll see. I mean, I hope. I mean, you see in the first episode, I think you see Daredevil. Yep.
But I'm assuming you see him more, maybe. I don't know. I'll give it one more episode, but I'm not sitting through all of it. I don't know how many episodes there are.
5.
But all right,
5
I'll do
6.
number 2, And if I'm sitting the same way I'm in there,
If
I
it's not
can't-
over
I
in
can't
3 episodes,
continue.
I'm fucking out.
Yeah, it's not good. Like I didn't even. Yeah, not my bag.
The fighting scenes are awesome, though. The
Sure.
fighting scenes are spectacular.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But everything else is not good. And Night Court's back. Again, if you are a fan of the original series or the fan of the first season, it's back and it's silly and it's fantastic. So I will always recommend Night Court.
There you go.
And that's what I got.
All right.
What'd you watch,
Excellent.
Brian?
By the way, just so we could think of it, the second movie in the Hercule Poirot movie, Death on the Nile, in 2022. Gal Gadot is in this and a bunch of people. Also, very, very good movie. So check that out as well.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely check that out. I mean,
Yeah.
Megan may have seen that. I don't know.
Yeah, Death on the Nile, 2022. Rodeo Express was 2017, and Haunting in Venice, like you said, was last year. All three solid movies.
It was so good.
Great
Yeah,
stuff.
that Venice one was great.
Yeah. Main two things I watched, again, Echo. You already talked about that a lot. I like it a little bit more than you do. I love Vincent say his name for me. D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. Love it. Very good. And the girl who plays Echo is great. I don't know. I like her. The storyline's a little odd, but like I said, the fighting scenes are good. It's okay. It's this Marvel Spotlight thing they're doing. So what it's intended
what
to do
is that?
It's supposed to allow you to focus on one character and not necessarily have to have watched all the other movies and different things. Although they did tie it to the Hawkeye series, but they gave you a recap on the first episode. That's it. You don't need to know all the other Marvel universe to sit down and enjoy this. I think that Daredevil's going to be sort of in the same thought process. I think the same strategy.
So you're not watching, going, "Oh, I need to watch this to lead up to the next Avengers movie."
Exactly. Right. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
All right. I like that. That's good. It's like a better character.
It's getting to be too much. Like where there's so much shit now that like you can't have. You can't sit there and watch fucking 80 movies and 12 TV series. In order
you could just watch this standalone and go, you know what? I like the action. I like this story for this season.
Yeah,
but it's still got superhero elements and such.
That's correct.
And maybe you could toss a crossover.
Yeah, that's one of the things I loved about Black Panther so much. As I'm like, it's just a great movie. You don't have to see shit. It's just it's a story. It's his story. You don't have to see anything.
Yeah. So that's what it's supposed to be, and so we'll see. And it's violent and everything. So it's definitely mature themed stuff.
Yeah, it's the first one to be MA, isn't it?
It is since Disney took over.
Like that.
Since Disney took over, like the Daredevil was, but that was before. Now they brought that into this universe. Obviously, Daredevil will be the same way. I'm certain.
What was Howard the Duck rated? I'll have to look that up later.
That was FU
Probably
to the
PG.
movie. FU to the movie-going audience. I think that was rated. Series I loved immediately. I watched the whole thing already. The Brothers' Son. I told you guys about it on Netflix.
Yeah.
This is Michelle Yeoh, Sam Lee, Justin Chain. I'm going to say his name wrong. Forgive me. So basically, a kid learns that his family is like a bunch of gangsters, basically. So I think they're Korean, they're Chinese. I can't remember if they're Chinese or Korean. I don't remember. Anyways, very, very good stuff. If you like it, just action, drama, beautifully shot, fight scenes are great. Strongly recommend The Brother's Son. Thoroughly enjoyed that series there, and they set it up to where there'll be very likely another season as well. But it could end here and be okay. But like I said, they're setting up for the future. So 5 or 6 episodes, something like that. Check it out on Netflix. That's it. Those two, I kind of binged those 2 series. That's pretty much it. So
very good.
Yes. All right, guys. We're going to take a break. We're going to focus on maybe some more tech support or something like that. Not sure. We're going to come back with some pop culture headlines in our Ask an Idiot segment. A little about villainy. Dean's going to elaborate on that. Go ahead.
So we're not going to go with my Ask an Idiot recommendation where we just ask Dean how those headphones are working out or how he got them plugged in.
Let's go to break. All right, let's just go to break. Mean fucking kids. I'm surrounded by mean children.
We'll be back after the break, and you'll probably hear most of us when we return.
Maybe.
I can hear you.
Four, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Convincing Idiots. Pop culture headlines, gentlemen. I do have to acknowledge we haven't done a pop culture death, I don't think lately. I don't think so, but this will have to pause for a couple of seconds here. Now, this is one of the first women on film that gave young GenX Brian some funny feelings back in the day. Back in 1980, Caddyshack was released, featuring Cindy Morgan. Cindy Morgan played Lacey Underall, Judge Smale's niece. If you watch Caddyshack at all, you know exactly who I am speaking about. She was also a prominent actress in Tron back in the day as well. Passed away recently at age 72. What?
All right. If you're going to talk about deaths, you got to stop twiddling with your thing because you keep getting a thumbs up next to your head. And I have to imagine it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening like 4
because you're
or 5
messing
times,
with your thing. And every time you mention like this lady dying, the little thing keeps popping up, giving you a thumbs up.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So our video app has different gestures where we've realized over the last few weeks here.
You know what you need? You need some foam Wolverine claws so it won't get confused. That's what you need. That's what we all need.
Yeah, sure. I'm playing with my ring here, but yes, I apologize. So I'm not giving a thumbs up that Cindy Morgan passed away. Quite the opposite here. So. Yeah, again, 72 years of age, natural causes, it looks like here. But those are the two main things that she was in. I enjoyed Tron as a kid here, but Caddyshack for me has become one of my... I mean, we all have these movies and that you can watch repeatedly and never get tired of it. Caddyshack is definitely one of mine. I watch it at least every summertime season. It can't be the end of the summer for me without at least sitting down and enjoying Caddyshack. So many great performances. And she was great in that movie. Funny, beautiful, everything. So that's it. I just wanted to pause and recognize her for a second here. Now, Dean, you're a Caddyshack fan, I believe. Yeah?
I am. Absolutely. Yeah, it's, what is she, 78?
72.
72. Okay. I mean, rest in peace because she seemed to be everything you read up on her. She had a good life, great actress. I mean, I don't know how much other things I know her from besides the movie, but I mean, if you're a men of certain age or even women of certain age, Caddyshack holds a special place in your heart, and she holds that in your heart and hey, probably your pants too, if you're at that age. So.
Sure, absolutely. I would venture because every Gen X dude.
What's that?
Every Gen X dude, I'm sure, knows who she was. I'm sure that was one of the first nude scenes I recall watching in a movie. Like, oh my God, wow!
Yeah.
So.
And they were. That's some. That's some A1 titty meat right there. A1 titty meat.
There you have it.
Beautifully said.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Give the eulogy. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. Nick, I don't know if you're familiar with if you're fans of those movies or.
I think I rented it when I was like 18 or something, and I watched it after The Big Lebowski, so it just wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't quite hit me. I don't remember anything about Caddyshack really. I remember Rodney Dangerfield is in it, I think, right? Is that one? Okay.
Chevy Chase, Bill Murray. Okay. It's really Ted Knight, just for like late 70s, early 80s. Comedic stars. That really had a lot of folks in that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. All right. Big pop culture event over the weekend here, guys, on Sunday evening. The Golden Globes returned to network television. So CBS bought the rights for this thing here, which we talked about it previously, I believe. But the Golden Globes took a lot of heat previously in their panel not being very diverse and who was winning these awards. It seemed to be, again, not really necessarily recognizing diverse talent, etc. Took a lot of flack for that. A lot of folks did not want to host. So and they had trouble. I don't even know if it aired on network television last year. I don't really even remember, but CBS picked it up. They had trouble finding a host up until I think 10 days prior to the broadcast. Apparently, they found comedian Joe Coy.
What were they gonna do if
He's funny.
if they didn't find somebody? Like, what were they gonna do?
I
don't
remember
know.
a few years ago, but I mean, I say few, it could be about 10, 15 even. But at one point, the Oscars hosted by 15 different people. So there was no one come out. It was like a little
Kind of
segment.
like the presenters, but
Yeah.
except that there was
no set one host.
Yeah. So he came out, he took a lot of negative flack for just a very unfunny monologue. Nick, you probably saw this as well, being a Taylor
He's a funny
Swift
comedian,
fan.
though.
Yeah, just some of these jokes just didn't really hit. There's a lot of, video and clips of kind of a lot of the stars groaning
I was getting like strong memories of Dean on this podcast. Like his jokes were just falling and just.
Well, Dean helped write the monologue. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it was very cringy. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
He made a Taylor Swift joke, it's we're on after a football game, and this broadcast is going to have less cutaways to Taylor Swift in an NFL game or something like that. Then Taylor Swift purposely scowled and took a drink. She knew the camera was going to be on her or something like that. So, however, it did.
And all that shit's set up. That she was told the joke was coming, and that's. Why else have the camera in your face, huh?
It didn't seem that way. I think she knew the camera was going to be.
All of that shit is fake.
Well, they always typically, if someone makes a joke about someone, the camera immediately points to them to get their reaction.
Right. So
I don't know. She knows, but she probably knew it was going to be
something
on her.
Was coming.
Right after
and then
her name
she's a good
said,
sport. She does the bad face, and she's not dumb enough to get pissed about this. She knows she's in the public eye. She's been in it since she was 8.
I don't know. You just have to analyze the tape and figures. Anyway, but it did do okay on the viewers. It hit 9.4 million viewers, up 50% from last year. And the big. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say that I heard the debate over it didn't go over well, that he was saying blaming all his bad jokes on the writers.
Yes, that's right.
But then I heard somebody was like, well, maybe that was a joke and it just didn't get perceived that way. That he's Joe, knowing that the joke flopped and being able to read the room, that he was those are the writers, that supposedly was an off the cuff joke or whatever. But I know that was something that people took umbrage with. They didn't like that he was, saying that it was basically the writer's fault or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, you're right. The big winners were Beef. I mentioned that as one of my favorite things of 2023. It hit every nomination it was up for. It won, including Best Actor and Actress and Stephen Yeun and what's the lady's name? We'll find it here in just a minute here. So that was the TV winner. Oppenheimer won Best Picture.
That makes sense.
Best Director.
Mm-hmm.
Cillian Murphy won Best Actor, and Robert Downey Jr. won Best Supporting Actor, all from Oppenheimer. Also won Best Score, Original Score. So that was a huge. I was actually surprised that Barbie didn't win.
Yeah, it got snubbed, didn't it?
It really did. It didn't get. Obviously didn't get.
What
director,
did Paul Giamatti win?
He won. I can tell you here in 1 second. Here, I got all the names here in front of me.
Because as you're scrolling down, he had his award. There was somebody took a picture from outside In-N-Out Burger. After the award show, he's sitting in In-N-Out Burger by himself with his Golden Globe in front of him, eating a fucking burger and milkshake.
Yeah, beautiful. Ali Wong, just to recognize her again properly for Beef. She was the best actress in a limited series, and again, Stephen Yeun for Beef. Let's see here. Going through this 1 second. The Boy and the Heron won Best Animated Picture. We thought Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse might win that.
The Boy and the Heron. What the fuck is that?
Never heard
about
of it.
A boy in the herring
And a heron.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. The Bear won Best Television Series, Musical or Comedy.
I should watch that.
Secession won a lot of awards as well for Best Actress, Best Drama. Paul Giamatti goes Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. So Paul Giamatti got 4 of the holdovers.
Okay. Brian, did you end up watching that?
Not yet. It is on my list to watch.
You need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely up your alley, like I said before.
It's up for it's on streaming now.
Nick, it's a good
rent.
movie, so you probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah. That's it. So just I don't know.
Given what you're wearing, I question your taste. So.
Yes,
I only fuck with the winners, man. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Paul Giamatti won.
If it didn't win Best Picture, then I ain't gonna see it.
Well, maybe it's because Paul Giamatti didn't cheat to win. Maybe that's your problem.
That's right.
Enjoy your In-N-Out burger, loser. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You seem like a villain, Nicholas. You seem like a villain.
That's right. Yeah, stay tuned. That's coming up. I didn't watch any of the Golden Globes. I have not been interested in that in ever. I mean, I do like to watch the Oscars still. I am kind of a sucker for watching that.
Waiting to see who gets fucking hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That just slaps.
Is that of interest to you guys at all? The Golden Globes? Do you not care about it at all?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm happy the Paul Giamatti one. That's about it.
Yeah. I'm much more likely to watch like a music award show than like I don't care. I don't because movies that win those are like the most. A lot of the times they're not even like the bigger blockbuster movies that like it's a bunch of like niche things that people haven't seen, and I don't even know what half of them are. And like
they seem to be trying to get away from that lately.
Yeah.
It seems that way. They're trying to incorporate some of the bigger ones that people seen, because I think that was their problem for the longest time in all these award shows is people just didn't see these movies. They put them out for like a week just so they could be considered.
Right.
And this is it. All it is, if nobody's seen these movies and nobody's watching the award show, all it is a glamorous presentation for all these actors to suck their own dicks. I mean, it's not anything anybody wants to watch, obviously. So you got to go back and you got to start incorporating some of these bigger movies. Like you said, Brian, Spider-Man Across the Universe didn't win, but it was nominated.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, Oppenheimer and Barbie, you couldn't get away from. I mean, those were the 2 biggest movies of the year. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's why they're at least, again, my opinion, that they're trying to change that over.
Yeah. I never understood the point of the Golden Globes, frankly. I mean, you got the Oscars. I guess it's just 2 different panels and 2 different ways to win some type of award, I guess. I don't know.
Golden Globes, the Hollywood Foreign Press.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
Always.
Apparently they changed up the panel and everything. I don't know. But again, I don't ever think I'll be that interested in watching that particular one. It was funnier when like you get someone like people go up there and make fun of like Ricky Gervais or whatever. Gervais. Yeah, would make fun of people. That's good. And if you can, make fun of yourselves, that made it more entertaining. But I don't know. Just anyway. Okay. Stuff on social media. It's always it's fascinating at times what gets attention and takes off. Really amazing, and actually could have a huge positive impact on a business. I mean, if something takes off and goes viral. So, one thing that went viral recently is the Stanley Cup. This is not the hockey award.
Please explain this to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick.
Basically,
And please don't explain the Stanley Cup from hockey. I get what that is.
No.
I'm talking about the internet thing that's going
it's
around.
the newest accessory. I'm sure some influencers probably had this cup. This
That's right.
Yetis were a big deal for the last couple of years. I feel like they've kind of reigned supreme. Hydro flasks are big for people that like to glamp or hike or act like they hike a lot or what. There's different accessories that are commonly shown off. Yes.
Real quick, what's glamp?
Glamp is
camping.
Like glamour camping. People that are outdoorsy, they like to camp, but they're always dressed really well. They're not like actually like dirty camping, roughing it. Like they.
Gotcha. It's like how I would camp.
Yeah, or like when you see girls like act like they're into farming or farm life, but they're always wearing all white and cowboy boots, and they're always in pristine condition. It's not exactly the same as right. It's not exactly the same as what it actually is. So I feel like there's a lot, and I mean,
glamping. I get it.
I don't mean to shit on people that are conveying a healthy lifestyle, or acting like they. I mean, maybe they are, but it's never a bad thing to advertise. Get out, take a hike, do whatever. These are all good things. But basically, what I've
been told that all my life.
The Stanley insulated cup craze is that basically. I'm sure like some influencers probably started carrying these around and they making.
So it's the brand Stanley.
It is Stanley, correct. Yeah, like actual, like I have a Stanley, like fucking canteen, like in the basement,
the old retro, thermos and stuff.
But this is not that. The one that's hot right now is a special Valentine's Day exclusive Target edition Stanley 30 or 40 ounce cup, whatever the fuck it is. It's this giant ass honking fucking handle, and it's got a straw in it, and it's red and it's pink, and it's like what everyone has to have right now. And I think they retail for somewhere around $60 or $70. But if you can get your hands on one on the internet secondhand, you're going to pay over $100. It's just like this fucking thing. It's just crazy right now.
See, I went to make the Stanley Cup myself. I sent it to you guys. I went to one of those websites where you can put a picture on a cup. Nick, I don't know if you understood the joke.
Three's Company?
Three's Company,
yes.
Norman Feld, and he played Stanley Roper.
Okay,
Stanley Roper on Three's Company.
I did not know Mr. Roper's name was Stanley, but yeah.
Yes, his first name's Stanley. Well, that's the joke, is how obscure it is. You put I put his face on the front, and on the back in real small print, Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I was so close to doing it, and then I thought to myself, with everything that you have to do as an adult, do you really need to spend ultimately tax and shipping? Do you need to pay like close to $20 for a joke coffee mug? So I thought against it, but I was very close.
Yeah. Check out my Stanley Cup. Ha ha ha. Next year, check out my Stanley Cup. What?
Exactly. So I thought against it ultimately.
Yep.
It's very interesting, but it's a thing with cups. Everyone's had their spotlight. There was Yeti. The Tervis ones were really big for a while. And like I said, Hydro Flask, different insulated bottles for hiking and things like that. The Owalas, those are big for a hot second. I was watching a Good B.
Mm-hmm. Good B cup.
Mm-hmm. B cups. Nobody likes B cups.
Come on. they're not too big, they're not too small. They're perfect.
B cups. Anyway, it's like, but I was watching.
I'm partial because that's what I have.
You don't like B cup? Oh, they're too big on me, but too small for other people. No, but I was watching this funny video on it was like an Instagram reel or whatever, and somebody was like, there was a picture of each one of these cups, like a lot of the ones I've just mentioned, and it's the Stanley Cup comes in, and then the Yeti cup goes, oh well, look who finally found their way to the back of the cupboard, and they're all going through about they had their day in the sun and stuff, and they're like, no, the Stanley one's like, I'm special because I'm insulated, and the Yeti's like, well, I'm insulated, and she's like, well, I'm shiny, and then the other one's like, oh, you haven't seen what they do to us on like Etsy and stuff when they bedazzle us and stuff like that, and it's like someone I want to tell. She's like, well, I'm definitely hands down the most expensive cup that she's ever had, and the Yetis and all the other cups are looking around at each other and like, does anybody want to tell her? Like, somebody bring out the $300 cup. She's like, there's a $300 cup, and it's one of those big, transparent clear plastic jugs with the blue top that you get at the hospital. The guy's in a hospital gown. And he's like,
right. There you go.
yeah, it's the $300 cup. But I thought it was pretty clever. It was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The cups are a fad. They come and go.
I think the other thing that would have made that better is if you would have had the plastic cup that came in that said, "I'm from two girls."
Oh, there you go. Yeah. That had its day in the mud, maybe not in the sun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I missed the influx of So the hashtag Stanley Cup amassed 6.8 billion views on TikTok. Billion.
Wow.
And Stanley's annual sales for last year are projected to top $750 million. So
and when I first started seeing these, when I started seeing all the stuff about it, I honestly thought it was a joke comparing us off to the hockey Stanley Cup. So that's why I asked earlier, is because what you guys explained is kind of what I understood, but I thought there should be more to make it more interesting or funny, but apparently not.
Right. No. There's really nothing special. Now, I heard that, I can't remember what other company they were a part of, but apparently whoever is in charge of marketing or having a big role in this with the Stanley insulated cups did something like this with another company and absolutely took their sales to something astronomical, and now they're doing it again with Stanley. I have to look up what it was and follow back up with that, but I heard that, I can't remember what the other company was, but it was something else, some major accessory or brand that overnight just turned into a big fucking deal, and now it's happening all over again with Stanley. But yeah, it's very, I don't know, it's odd, very strange. It's a very nothing thing to just suddenly become a fad. It's a really random ass thing, but that's what it is.
It's somebody has it, somebody wants it, and it takes off. You want it because other people have it, and you don't have it.
It's all about promotion.
It's one of those things. You're right.
It's all about promotion and the way you present it. So, I tell you guys, hey, you guys are adults now. You really should have responsible insurance. And I told you about Blake Insurance. That's not just a fad. That's a lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen, because Blake Insurance, it's an area insurance company located out of Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And it's not just a fad, ladies and gentlemen. And when you do call them, tell them that the idiots sent you.
Very good. Aaron is the Stanley Cup of insurance.
He really
agencies.
is.
Yeah. Yep.
Do not mistake him for the two girls and
no,
the Stanley Cup. He is gold standard.
That's right. Another AI story here, guys. The SAG-AFTRA.
What was that?
Announced.
Brian's having a stroke.
SAG-AFTRA, which is the union representing the film and TV performers, over 150,000 film and TV. They were just on strike recently, in part because they wanted to make sure they had fair AI protections and agreements and that type of thing. So a new deal has been announced with Replica Studios, which is an AI voice technology company. So it has established protections around licensing of digitally replicated voices. So basically, they're arranging a deal to be able to use their voices in AI replicate their voices, with AI-powered voice actors in video games. So you can, there's an opportunity that we may hear some actors who have maybe even since passed on come back through AI to appear in video games, and then their estate or whatever would benefit from this arrangement, that type of thing. So
I cannot wait to hear B. Arthur in the new Grand Theft Auto game. It's going to be fucking dope.
Very, very possible.
It's going to slap.
Yeah.
Very possible. So, but again, at least they're doing it through, it's all legal, and they're going to make some extra money out of this. So that's it. I don't know. You could argue that, well, you're not recording yourselves. You're going to use AI to record. So maybe over time, I don't know if it's a good deal or not necessarily, but they did agree to it. So I think we're going to see more and more of these type of opportunities arise to allow these companies to generate AI. But again, at least they have the permissions, and it is through the union and everything else here. So I don't know. Any thoughts on this here, guys? I just thought it was an interesting story.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
No,
Hey, as long as it's legal, as long as they're following the guidelines that they got through the strike and whatnot, I mean, fine, sure, why not?
Yeah, we're still trying to develop the technology, Nick, to replace Dean in one of these days.
Yep.
We tried with the headset tonight, cleverly, but he did figure it out.
Well, we've already recorded him saying "night court" a bunch of times, so I mean that's really a lot of
replay it over.
It's Mad Libs from there. You just fill in the blanks around it.
Right.
And, I mean, you've got the bulk of it.
Yeah.
Titty meat, night court. Titty meat, night court. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah. And time travel.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yep.
Okay.
All right, and
go back and kiss my ass. What's up? Go ahead. You were saying?
There's been plenty of prequels made. Some that are horror related. There's certainly a lot of clunkers, some decent ones. Yeah. So a prequel coming out later this year. I didn't realize was coming out, and I'm definitely interested. April 5th, 2024. The First Omen. So this is the story of how Damien was born, the Antichrist from the Omen movie, which is still one of the best horror movies of all time, in my opinion, back in 1976. It's the story of a nurse who made her way to, or nurse or a nun or something that made her way into that hospital, her story, and all the crap that went down where Damien was born, apparently. So definitely interested. I think the premise sounds very cool. And I will go see it in April, I believe. So, any interest in an Omen prequel, guys? Nick?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think, it's been a really long time since I've seen the first one. But I mean, it was a solid movie, and it's where my middle name came from. So, it's where it's named after Damien.
I forgot that. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So, that would be cool. I'd like to see a prequel around the Omen. Yeah. Dean fan? Yay? Nay?
I'm probably not something I'll go see, but good for him. I mean, it's got a genre. It's got fans. It's got a lot of people to go see it. So yeah, I'm against it. Just probably not. I probably won't see it. Not because I think it'll be bad. It's just not my deal.
Okay. Well, Damien certainly in the horror movies is one of the more known villains of all time in horror. So that kind of leads us into our Ask an Idiot segment. Dean, this was your thought here. Why don't you introduce your question here, please, sir?
All right. This week for Ask an Idiot, I come up with this question for you guys. I saw something similar cross my path on Twitter, but if you were a villain, who is your villain spirit animal, or if you would be a villain in a TV or movie, who would you be? Which one do you speaks to you? Which one do you feel? You know what I mean? I mean, however you want to see this question. There's no really wrong way. So, and then when we're done saying who we think we are, I'd like to go around and...
What accent is that?
What's that?
So what accent is that?
It's the shit that got backed up in the back of my throat that I've been trying to clear, and it caught me in a weird... Well, it's love, never have to work a day in your life. So, Brian, after this, we're gonna go around and say who we think each other's villainous character would be. Good.
Sure.
Nick, do I need to talk slower? All right.
Look what he's wearing. I mean, come on.
That's true. That's true.
A fucking Michigan hat and shirt. I mean, clearly you got to slow down. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Sorry, my brain's still rattled from all the winning. I can't focus.
It's weird that he mispronounced sucking like that.
Still hungover from Monday.
Okay,
Brian,
well, for me,
you go first. Who is your villain?
For me, I have Darth Vader. How about
Okay.
that? So Darth Vader is always one of my favorite villains of all time here. But you think about Vader, certainly he had, he fell, became very hateful and problematic, and originally
And you've got a
to
weird thing for amputees.
right. Sure, that's right. I don't like the high ground.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Avoid
Yeah.
it at all cost.
Yep. When I was younger, I was very whiny and
Mhm.
annoying. You know what I mean? I had like a rat tail. No, I didn't have that. Did not have that. But
I mean, the mullet was close, though.
Mullet was pretty close. Mullet was pretty close here. A lot of partying there in the 80s. But no, but Vader, he what brought him back, obviously, he fell from grace, if you will, and how he was able to attain some redemption was through the love of his children. Of course, his son here. So, for me personally, I mean, my life was very erratic, not really going a lot of great directions, and just sort of, day by day, that type of thing. And then when I became a father and realized that there's
before that all happened, you go around blowing up planets, blowing up loads. Just
exactly
tearing it up. Gotcha.
Exactly right.
Tearing
Exactly
it
right.
up.
That's right. That's right. I was known as the proton torpedo in the,
That's right.
in the neighborhood. Yeah, absolutely.
And when he was done, he'd breathe hard.
Yeah. No, but just having a child definitely changed my perspective on life and a lot of things. There's something there that more important than yourself, and really maybe rethink a lot of things and get some things in order that I had to with career and mindset and priorities and a lot of different things here. So, and that's it. That's where I equated myself a little bit to Darth Vader. How about that?
Very good. Nicholas.
Yeah. I would
Who's your
say,
villain?
so I kind of didn't really go with an internal look inward, but as you guys know,
Only because you probably thought about it like 2 seconds ago?
yeah, probably. I've always not only been fascinated with the character of Venom because I thought that he looked cool, or but I just think it like what it must be, and I thought about it more and more while watching like the Venom movie and stuff. Like, what an interesting. It would be cool to kind of be out of control.
Have something come inside you.
Yes. I didn't think of it like that, but when you just said it, yeah, it sounds very appealing. No, just to kind of like have something overtake you that it makes you super powerful, and you're basically impervious to any harm. Like you can't be injured. You can basically just barrel through life and do whatever. And it's I don't know. It seems like it would be fun to be completely unstoppable, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it would just be kind of cool, like something that would be fun to like almost play a character in a video game, almost
And
like it's not that I want to go and cause destruction, but like as a kid, like it was such a thrill to play like the Grand Theft Auto games, because it was like, oh my god, like you could just do whatever the fuck, like you could do anything and get away with it. And
Can I get internal for you there?
it was kind of interesting. Yeah.
You're like and you're also in real life. You're a wholesome boy. You're a sweet boy, like Spider-Man. And then when you get this black incarnation
That comes inside
engulfing
me.
you,
Yeah.
it comes inside you. You get all venomous and villainous.
That he could dance down the like Spider-Man 3. You could dance well down the streets of Cleveland.
Now I
see him do that all the time.
I don't fancy myself as much of a dancer, but I do think I could pull off some better moves than our buddy Toby in that movie.
Sure.
Just, not the best. But I'd go with Venom just because
Venom.
it's been
I
a
like
favorite
it.
character of mine. So yeah, Dean, what about yourself?
All right. I thought about this for a minute. I'm going back and forth on two. I was originally thinking Kaiser Sose. Kaiser Sose, because throughout the movie he's meek and cowardly, and he's really pulled back, and he's narrating this story of this incredible situation. And at the end, that's when you find out, spoiler alert for the usual suspects, that he's been the mastermind and he's the villain all along.
What is
he
that?
has been usual suspects. I mean, Billy Baldwin. Who else was in that, Brian? Tyson Associates, played by Kevin Spacey. So I was thinking
the ultimate.
Now we get it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I thought about him, but then I thought against that. I think really, when it comes down to it, the sniveling, dastardly, underhandedly, just making snarky comments, and he's really just standing at the side of power, and enjoying the fruits of the labor of others. I have always thought a kinship to Iago from Aladdin. My father always said, Dean, and this is true. He said, Dean, you're like a parrot I once had. If you weren't squawking, you're shitting. Yeah. So I have always had that kinship to Iago from Aladdin.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Squawking your shitting.
I like it. Okay. Yep. Now turn over to MASH. God damn it.
I do have something offline that I want to bring up as for something for the show later. It just popped into my head.
Okay. All right, very good. So what's the next part of your question?
Now we're going to go back around and who, we don't have to do round robin. When Brian, when you say give mine and then Nick's, who you think our villains would be.
Okay. All right.
So Brian, go ahead.
All right. So for Dean, I have Felonious Guru, who's from Despicable Me.
Okay.
Okay. Why do I think that way? Is
who is this?
Guru.
Okay. You gave this full name. I didn't know the full name. Go.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the movie, he's a bad guy. He tries to act like he's bad, but what you really learn is that he's really soft at heart. He really has a soft spot for for kids, and that's what really turns him around.
You get that mixed up.
And I also thought that Dean has a similar body build. Actually, yeah. And Nick, I have, and I know this is one of your favorite movies too.
Yeah.
How about Norman Bates?
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, because he loves to dress like his mom. Yeah.
Well,
right.
Norman Bates is very polite. He's quiet,
close with his mother,
secretly very, very calculating, right? And Nick looks good in a wig and a dress, I'm imagining.
It's true.
Thank you.
I don't even have to imagine.
Wait, I say you guys don't have to imagine it, really. So
there you go.
We can arrange something. I like that. Very good.
Nice. All right, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Who are our villains?
So, for Brian, I think I see Brian as something of a Magneto figure, as in organized, a leader, personality, certainly, and certainly the only reason he is a bad guy is because himself and the people that he cares about and are close to him are being persecuted and treated unfairly. So he lashes out really in an effort to protect himself and those that are like him or close to him. So I could see Brian's a Magneto kind of guy.
I like it. I like that. I like it. Thank you.
Dean, I was thinking more, are you guys, I don't know how familiar you are with Dick Tracy, but there's a villain called the Tramp. And I was kind of thinking, this is a guy that lives out of trash cans and stuff, and he's a bum, basically. No,
sure.
No, actually, I see Dean not in quite the light that Brian does, but quite the opposite. In fact, I feel like Dean is more of an Emperor Palpatine. Like I feel like Dean is just his hatred runs much deeper even than what the surface shows. I feel like it's enough that like will him through.
It
Like
sustains me.
It fuels him. It sustains him, and it really. I think you need it almost like oxygen to breathe. And
That's scarily accurate.
yeah. So, and I just see you as like an Emperor Palpatine kind of guy. Just
Right.
ultimately at the heart of all evil. So there you go.
And also when I'm older, I'm going to be sporting a cloak for my everyday wear too.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. Maybe it's a Macho Man one.
that's right. Excellent. Do it. All right. So for you two, I think I've got this nailed. Brian, for you, you have this aura of sophistication. You have this aura of you have everything neat and pressed and together in your life, and you know how to speak to people, and you have this. It's magnetism, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
You're
secretly,
you already said that.
oh no! Secretly, this motherfucker eats people. He's Hannibal Lecter.
Oh shit!
In the end, they found out he'd been eating motherfuckers,
Nah.
tearing them up, filleting them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but I like to picture Brian over the stove cooking up some brains and feeding it to Igor. He's like, here you go,
Yeah.
buddy. This to keep you young.
Yeah,
Right.
The guy's still alive over there. Just,
Yeah.
Right.
How do you think Igor's still kicking after all this time?
Mm-hmm.
Igor's 28 years old.
Human
He's
brains.
human years. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
A
Flesh. human
census
brain.
taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
See, I got it right. I told you.
Solid.
All right,
Nailed it.
Nicholas. There's a lot of irony to this because you're such a sweet boy.
I'm sweet boy.
People look at you and want to pat you on the head.
Mm.
That tussle your whiskers. They want to pick you. You are just a loving soul until you look deep down inside. When people's not around, why do things happen? Maybe it's a sweet boy in the corner named Damien.
There you go.
You are Damien from the Omen. You are that sweet boy, but deep inside you are the devil incarnate.
I
There
kick
you
the
go.
dog when no one's looking.
That's right.
I can kick him.
Mm-hmm.
You are you're like a Tootsie Pop. You know, nice sweet candy on the outside, but inside dark and fudgy from the devil.
Fudgy on the insides.
Right, fudgy on the inside. So that's right. Hannibal Lecter and Damien from the Omen.
Very
I
good.
love it.
Boys,
Very good.
there
Nice.
we have it.
Nicely done.
That was a fun exercise.
That was.
Fine,
Good stuff all
fine
around.
answers. Yeah, I love it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take another break here. We're going to
A break from our
reflect.
villainous ways.
That's right.
Never.
That's right. Boy, we have you guys fooled out there. Have our lovely
They
ladies
do.
and our lives fooled. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, not
They
fooling
do.
anybody.
They're the most aware.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Allie's over here like, I wish you would eat some more people around here, motherfucker.
Get to eating.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Come on.
Yep, that's all right. All right, so we're going to talk about more movies here, guys. Movies. You ever watch a movie that in the movie itself, it takes place in about 1 day. The storyline in the movie takes place around 1 day or less. Definitely creates a whole different story, a whole different cinematic experience. And that's going to be the subject of our main topic.
Nick says wait for it.
That's right.
Working on it.
Coming at you after the break.
Wow.
Paramount Pictures presents a new film by John Hughes, starring Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, that's me.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
He gives good kids bad ideas.
The story of one man's struggle to take it easy
He's a righteous dude.
Rated PG-13.
Now playing at a theater near you. Check your newspaper for showtime.
3, 2.
What is up? Welcome back to Convincing Idiots, segment number 3. I'm
Yo.
Millennial Nick, along with GenX Brian and Zennial Dean. Now, you guys listening or watching, perhaps on YouTube, may find this hard to believe, but believe it or not, the production value, right, that you're seeing on a screen right now, fireworks, balloons, thumbs up, all the things, believe it or not, what we bring to you on Convincing Idiots, the magic that we bring to you, is filmed just in the course of an evening. Just one evening. You might think this might be a week-long shoot or something to get this kind of perfection out of three gentlemen like ourselves, but nay. It is simply done over one evening. So to pay homage to perhaps trailblazers before us that paved the way, this evening on our main segment, we are going to discuss some of our favorite films or whatever you choose that take place, the story takes place in or around a 24-hour period. So, Brian, why don't you go ahead and kick us off? You have a movie that you would like to bring to the table on your personal Mount Rushmore of your favorite 24-hour framed films?
Yes, being a Gen X person, movie you grew up with, John Hughes film, not necessarily one of my favorite movies of all time, necessarily, but definitely was a symbol of my generation in the 80s and all that. How about The Breakfast Club? Took place
That's good.
in a detention Saturday afternoon. I mean, most people know the film, so just really epitomizes an 80s movie without question. Great soundtrack, the Brat Pack in the film. Good stuff. If you haven't watched it for some reason, go spend some time and check it out, especially if you like retro 80 type movies. But a solid movie, a lot of fun. So The Breakfast Club for me.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Dean, what do you got?
Well, I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna go with the bottom here. I'm gonna go. This was an evening, well into the night, but it is Die Hard from 1988.
Yes.
Bruce Willis fighting off the bad guys during a Christmas party in Nakatomi Tower. Spends the evening killing bad guys and saving the day. So, what better movie than Die Hard, really?
Yeah. Fantastic selection.
Nikolai?
I'll give you an 80s movie. This was when this was brought up. This is the first one I thought of. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yep.
Takes place over a day. Very famous 80s movie. Certainly one that I grew up with. I saw a lot growing up, and I still love that movie. So obviously Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a good one. Just takes place in that day in which he fakes sick from school and all his elaborate schemes to do so, and all the events that go on.
Do you
from there.
love cheaters?
I love them. I just love them. I love them. The scamps. How can you be mad? Who's got it better than Ferris Bueller? Nobody. Ferris Bueller.
That's true. Well
Brian?
done.
Very good. Another great soundtrack. Dean, I'll just mention Die Hard was on my list as well. We have some overlap there. I read that takes place over around 4 hours or so, that movie.
Sure. That makes sense.
That's about it. So, yeah. So, my next one, Predator. Now, I didn't realize Predator took place around one day, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, they land in the helicopter, and you never see them sleep. Good point.
Yep, I have that one on mine as well.
Love that movie. One of my favorite science fiction movies, really, of all time, and definitely one of my favorite Arnold movies to boot. So, fantastic movie. Holds up today still. A lot of fun. Check that out.
All right.
Yep.
I'm going to go with maybe a little off the wall here, but I don't know if you guys remember the 1993 Michael Douglas film, Falling Down.
Yes.
Is about
good movie.
And it probably a guy in his like 50s or whatnot, but he'd been working for like a blue collar job that you ultimately find out he'd been fired from, and he kind of has a nervous breakdown, but like a breakdown, like he grabs a gun and starts shooting things up and starts killing people just simply because the quote unquote fast food is McDonald's, but not McDonald's, did stop serving breakfast within the minute that he asked for it. So he goes crazy.
That was it.
And then just goes on a spree of just, again, he's not a murderous person. He's just trying to get through his day. Like, he's having a murderous breakdown. You find out his wife died. Robert Duvall is fantastic as the police detective who's ending his career and shift towards the end of the day. It's such a good movie. I watched it over and over as a teenager. But yeah, Falling Down was.
I haven't watched that lately. Definitely one of Michael Douglas's greatest roles. Yeah.
Yep. Hands
he's
down.
He's in that traffic jam.
Yep.
And the cars aren't moving, and the flies buzzing around, and he just steps out of the car, leaves the car there, walks away.
He gives up at that point.
And that was it. That's one of those memes you see out there. It's like the older you get, the more you understand.
Yep. Like,
I understand how a guy could just fucking lose his mind. I just had it with everything. All this dumb shit. Yeah. Very good stuff.
All right, Nikolai.
My next submission for films that take place over one day, Dazed and Confused. That's a fun movie. Takes place the last day of the school year and a coming of age tale, and just it's really, I mean, it's aimless. It's an absolutely pointless movie. But it's, I don't know. It's one that I can't explain why I like. I think so. We've talked at length about, like, I feel that comedy specifically, or in general, movies that people like, have a lot to do with when you see it and how you remember it. And if you hold it, comedy's a weird thing. It's ever moving. And same with a lot of the quotes and things in Dazed and Confused. If I hadn't seen Dazed and Confused when I was younger, I probably would think it's stupid. But it's just, it's got a lot of great quotes in it. Like I said, there's no real point to it whatsosoever.
People will be saying that years from now about this podcast.
Sure,
that's right.
Yeah, that's true. It is aimless and makes no sense. But we are the Dazed and Confused of podcasts. So
I like that. I like
maybe
that
that's
a lot.
maybe that's why I like it so much. But Dazed and Confused, is takes place over a day and one that I still very much enjoy. So
I hadn't watched that movie ever, Nick, until last summer. It was a night.
Really?
Yeah, it was a night.
What did you think? That's a great example.
How did you go?
I liked it. It was one of those nights I was sitting out back. I just set the projector on my own. It was a summer evening. It was a perfect. That was a good experience to watch it that way, in the quote unquote drive-in type experience outside. Awesome soundtrack. Early,
it is also set 70s. In a time that resonates with you as well. Even though it was made in the 90s, but it's set in a time that you relate with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian, what how did they do? How do you think they portrayed that era?
Well, I think the movie was like late 70s, though, frankly. So this was like high school kids in the late 70s. So I wasn't there.
Okay.
That's okay, but I love the 70s decade anyway. I love the music and everything else. So
what did you graduate? You graduated in 79? 87.
No, 87.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
18.
Right.
I'm more of the Breakfast Club. That was more of the Breakfast Club there.
Okay.
That type of graduation class there. But
I thought Lincoln would have been more of the timeline, but all right.
All right, my next movie, it's one day, but although the one day takes place, could be thousands of times over and over again.
You got
Groundhog Day. Bill Murray. Love that movie. Again, arguably, it could be Bill Murray's almost best movie. Definitely one of his best, without question. Great movie. Great, lessons learned and everything. Just the premise is fantastic. So, a guy just wakes up and he's in the same day, of course, over and over and over again. And you don't really know how long he's in this day, but there's some people speculate it could be thousands of days where he's stuck until he achieves true love and gets out of the loop. So great movie.
God. I'm a god.
That's right. Yeah. Yep.
Next week at Trivia, Brian, I think our name for our team is going to be Ned Ryerson's Wet Shoe.
Well, that's cut. That's a deep cut.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good. All right,
All right.
what's next for you, Dean?
Well, I got to skip one because that was on my list. So, again, fantastic movie. But I'm going to go a 1992 classic with gentlemen like, starred and directed Quentin Tarantino, Michael Madsen, Tim Roth, and you have Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
They robbed the bank, and it just continues as a whole day of them trying to figure out where to go. Things go awry, and people start backstabbing each other and whatnot. One of Tarantino's best. I know it's early on, but still, and I he's had a shit ton of all that from there. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs is awesome. I love it. I want, is it Pulp Fiction? Maybe not, but it's not far off from it.
No, I haven't watched that movie in years. I need to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, it's very good.
Movie.
Very
good. There was a tie to Pulp Fiction, of course, because Michael Madsen. That's the Vega. It's Vincent
the
Vega's
Vega
brother.
brothers. Yeah, Vinny Vega's brother.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to do a sequel or a spinoff of those two, but I'm guessing Michael Madsen just, rest in peace, but he didn't probably wasn't able to for many other reasons, right? So, yeah. Reservoir Dogs. Nikolai,
my next one is one that is near and dear to my heart, a comedy that I loved so dearly.
Airplane.
And, I would imagine Brian has seen this movie at some point. I don't know if we've ever really discussed it, but being a Kiss fan, it certainly is an enjoyable movie. Detroit Rock City.
Yeah.
The tale of four young teenage boys who want, or just it takes place over a day. They're just trying to get to Detroit to see their favorite band, Kiss, but they're against the odds. None of their parents want them to go. They think it's the devil's music, and they win tickets on the radio, and then they have to get there, and then they have to swipe a car to get there, and then they get into the city, and shit happens. And it's actually, I love that movie. I know that that's not like a highly accredited film that a lot of people typically cite as it, but I think it's a funny movie. I've seen it many times over the years, and every time it makes me laugh. There's, again, so many good quotes in it, and if you're a Kiss fan, there's a lot of little references to different things over the years with that as well. But they're just trying to get to Cobo Hall in Detroit, Michigan to see Kiss, and it's just a fun movie. What's Furlong? Edward Furlong is in Detroit Rock City. Yep. But yeah, just fantastic movie. Love that movie. So, have you seen that? You've seen Detroit Rock City, right?
I did. I saw it in the theater back in that was when the original Kiss members were in the band at the time, and they all starred in the cameo in the movie.
Correct.
Shannon Tweed was in it. Gene Simmons' wife was in it. There's a lot of different, like you said, tons of, like you said, if you're a Kiss fan, you'll definitely enjoy the movie. If not, you probably find it, okay.
It's something of a Dazed and Confused movie. I mean, it has more of a plot than Dazed and Confused, but I mean, it's kind of akin to that, I guess, as just a movie if you take the band out of it and that, the Kiss fandom out of it.
Well, I've seen clips and I've seen small bits and pieces there, but I always looked at it as akin to almost a past version of Superbad type movie.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. The bathroom scene is still fucking hilarious with there's in the girls' bathroom. You know what I'm talking about, right? With they're peeping over the stall, and they're like, there's like three or all. I don't know if it's all four of them or what, but at least three of them are like up on the toilet. And the porcelain cracks and breaks, and they fall down and into the stall, and the whole stall's rip off the wall, and there's just water shooting up, and this girl's sitting on the toilet screaming, and all the dividers are falling over and shit. It's a
sounds fun.
Scene. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's interesting. Yeah, Detroit Rock City. Brian,
nothing like a quick felony to be funny.
Just a couple of teenage boys peeping in the girls' bathroom. Harmless, not hurting anyone.
Harmless fun.
Coming of age tale.
Sure,
that's right.
Emphasis on coming.
There you go.
Brian.
My think my favorite movie that takes place over one day is also one of my favorite horror movies of all time. We've mentioned this movie a few times in different episodes on this podcast. It's made my list on different subject matter. It's going to make this one as well. Takes place over one day, overnight, 24-hour period. The original Night of the Living Dead, the great George Romero. It just, I mean, if you know the movie at all, it's one girl makes her way, the zombie apocalypse goes into this house, meets up with other people, and it's just that course of that overnight to the next day, that entire film. Just powerful, low budget, but again, for some reason, if you haven't watched this movie, if you're a horror movie, go ahead.
One of the most impressive things about it, Brian, agree with me if you will, but like if you go back and watch it, right, the visual quality of the film is immaculate, especially when you find out that it's 1963 or whatever year
1968.
Came out. 68.
Yeah.
It almost looks HD, especially for then. Like it's a beautiful film. It's done in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is a beautiful film.
Yeah, fantastic movie in many aspects. Like you say, for that, the shooting, the story, the horror elements. It was the godfather of all the current zombie movies. Set the tone.
And
great.
The co-star was an African American guy. It was for then is kind of very passé.
You're right.
So he had the wherewithal to do kind of I don't want to say break barriers, but it wasn't seen in a lot. The pretty little white girl and African American guy kind of teaming together to fight these zombies. So kudos for them on that also.
Absolutely. Night of the Living Dead. Love it. That's my number one. Yep. Dean.
All right. Brian, I did have Groundhog Day, but I will replace that with
I'll tell you what, though, if I may interject, if I could be in any one of these movies and live one of those days, it would probably be Groundhog Day because more bang for your buck.
That's
true. And that's a great tie-in because at this place you can get more bang for your buck. And if I were in Groundhog Day, I would make my way each and every day and have a brand new first-time experience every day at RPM Bike Shop, because our friends at RPM Bike Shop, located not so far from here in Carrollton, Ohio, have the finest selection of electric bikes for you to ride. And just imagine if you woke up every day and relived a brand new experience at RPM Bike Shop, what a world that would be. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Go to Facebook and type in that search bar, RPM Bike Shop, and you can see the lovely products they have for you. Or you can simply pick up the phone, call them at 330-808-7792 today to give them a chat. Or you could also go to their website directly, and that's www.rpmbikeshop.com, and there you will find the finest selection of electric bikes that they can offer you today. So make today the first day of your new electric bike experience with RPM Bike Shop.
Beautiful.
Yeah, if you're listening only, Nick is trying to navigate his phone and laptop and everything with two Michigan Wolverine claws on his hands.
Right.
Yeah,
They're actually pretty good at typing.
Sure, they look like it.
Handling the phone, not so much, but the typing is good. Can really get a good range on the keyboard with these bad boys.
I've been curious about this all night. How do you piss? I mean, it's too small in your regular hands. Like I can't imagine.
It really dwarfs it, Dean, like a lot.
This is that's rough. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
like I'm getting jerked off like King Kong over here.
There's this thing in high school. Never mind. I'll tell that story later. All right. So my next one. Let's stick with the theme of black and white, guys, and I'm going to go with Clerks. Clerks. Once again, one day and one location. Well, I think they moved locations briefly, but Clerks was it was definitely groundbreaking at the time. Kind of the guerrilla, filmmaking. it brought out a whole genre of wannabes and lookalikes. Kevin Smith is a genius. I think he said he only has like one more movie in him.
I sure hope it's Tusk.
Something like that. I've never seen Tusk. Like, I want to see it. Like, I hear
so
it's
fucking.
it's so weird, and I want to see it. I should watch it. I need to watch
loved it, and it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but I fucking loved it.
Did you see what was the one that they did? The Hoosier, the hockey one with
Yoga Hosers. Oh,
yeah, it was Johnny Depp's daughter and his daughter.
5 minutes max.
Really?
I couldn't do it. It's okay. Oh, it's so cringe.
Okay,
it's so terrible.
But Kevin Smith is just a genius. I mean, if there's a filmmakers Hall of Fame, he's going to be in it. And it starts with Clerks. So
there you go.
Clerks is the next to last on my list.
For my final submission, or not final, but the last one I have written down here. Of course, it is the greatest movie that takes place over a day. It's the greatest movie of all time. It's Jingle All the Way. I mean, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
The events of Jingle All the Way happen in a fucking
one day.
Yes.
Yeah, if you think about it.
It doesn't seem humanly possible that it could be.
But put all that comedy in one day.
It takes place in one fucking day. Jingle All the Way, of course. My God. He wakes up that day with the simple task of going to get the doll and meeting up with them at the Wintertainment Parade later. But everything and anything happens.
Works
in
half
the middle.
the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, and all that. Yeah,
if you want to get technical, the opening scene is the night before he comes home. He misses the karate class to go to bed.
Disqualified.
Same deal. I mean, all these happen. Every one of these happens, and I mean, there's a scene where it's a different day. So,
Brian, his first one, or not first one, but Predator. Technically, the movie ends in the morning when they're
right. Well, and not
flying
only that,
him out
like,
of the helicopter.
They get together the evening before they take off on the copter. Like him and Carl Weathers, like they see each other. That's the evening before.
So Brian's dumb. That's what we figured out.
Technically, let's say in or around 24 hours. The bulk of the movie plot takes place in 24 hours. But yes.
Right.
So
yes. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Jingle All the Way.
Jingle
Brian.
All the Way.
That's I've named my 5. So
okay.
I have one more mentions. Then. Go ahead, please.
Let me go my last one here, because it is my favorite one on the list. I saved the best for last. The cast. I will not name all of them because there's a lot, but you got Tim Curry, Michael McKean, Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd.
Yes,
it happened in one night. They figured out who the killers or killer. Watch it and find out. Was in one night, 1985. Clue.
Yes.
Is a masterpiece in filmmaking.
I'll never forgive you for making me watch that fucking movie.
A delight in comedy. And just a joy of my childhood. Again, it's one of those that, if, like Nick said before, if I would watch it today for the first time, I don't think I would have the right or the same reverence for it. But because when I watched it, and how many times I watched it then, and it holds a special place in my heart. So, and Tim Curry, come on.
Arguably the best movie based on a board game.
Sure.
I think you had that. You had Battleship.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Battleship.
Yeah. That's true. That's a real. Yeah, that's a real.
Oh,
movie,
I know they made a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for 2025's Operation. We'll see how that goes.
Now you're talking. That could be a nice horror movie. Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Yep. Trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honorable mentions. You just want to wrap them up.
Yeah.
Yahtzee. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yep.
Just a guy who come to Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
That's it.
For no reason.
That's
People,
it.
Just everyday life going on.
Yeah.
This guy pops out behind. Yep.
Yep.
That's four of a kind.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
What? Nothing.
Yep.
4 of a kind.
I have a few honorable mentions. Just how you want to do that? I'll just name
Yeah,
what
just
you
throw
got?
me- yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah, what the
Okay.
hell? I'm
I
all
got
out,
you.
but you guys just go.
Okay, I'm not going to elaborate on them, but these are movies that for the most part. Alien, I didn't think that was
Oh,
one
yeah.
day. I guess it is.
Yep.
Airplane, I joked about that earlier, but it is
Ooh,
one evening, one
that
plane
is.
flight. Love that
Okay.
movie.
Yep.
You have to have a list with Kurt Russell. You have to include Kurt Russell. You got to find a reason
The
to
Thing.
include Kurt Russell in something. You know what? I saw The Thing. Someone said The Thing. I'm like, is that really one day? It seems
I
like
thought
it
that was
wasn't.
like-
Yeah. I feel like I feel like it's like we were just talking about. Like I
Predator
feel like
starts in the
I feel like
the
the
night
opening
before.
scene is the evening before or something, and then shit really hits the fan the next
daylight.
day.
This day, dog is running. They're chasing the dog in the early morning. Well, if I'll tell you what, if that is indeed one day, for sure, it's on the list, no question.
Yeah.
The other one I have with Kurt Russell is probably one of the coolest characters he ever played, the great Snake Plissken, Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Just 24 hours before the attached bomb on him explodes to rescue the president through the former New York City, now a large city prison. If you've never seen this movie for some reason, 1981, goofy, crazy, ridiculous. Kurt Russell with an eye patch. That's it.
Sure.
Watch
Kurt Russell loves the 24-hour rules. You could say Christmas Chronicles as well, because that takes place in an evening.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. There you go.
I'm going to get an honorable mention because I just looked out and saw this. The movie Bullet Train.
Great movie.
The recent movie Bullet Train. Is one of those that you see the previews, you're like, oh, I bet that's kind of good. And you never think about it again. It comes out on streaming, and then I watch it. I'm like, holy shit! I'm upset because like how beautiful it was shot.
Yeah, it really
that
was.
I didn't watch it in the theaters. Like it was a terrific, fun movie, a lot of fun. So Bullet Train.
I'm with you. That was on my list as well. Casablanca is one day apparently.
Ooh, yeah, very
great.
good.
Humphrey Bogart. I had Reservoir Dogs as well. Dean. Superbad. You guys kind of mentioned this too. That's over one day. And let's see what else I'm trying to see. Something else that was not already named. Dr. Strangelove, apparently. The great Peter Sellers. Dr. Strangelove.
Never seen it.
I hadn't watched it until maybe within the last year as well.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it makes all these great lists, and it's a parody of like nuclear war, basically. So
sure,
it's worth a watch. For sure.
Okay.
Peter Sellers, it's a whole different... You think of Peter Sellers as like Inspector Clouseau or something like that.
Right.
Completely different. He played multiple roles in this movie. So definitely worth a watch. Dr. Strangelove. That's what I had. Everything else you guys have already
do you
named.
have any?
I had Superbad and The Thing. So those are my honorable mentions. That I have.
Last one I have that I just saw that really, it was really a staple of my childhood. A movie called New Wave Hookers. It was a VHS tape that I found in my dad's drawer.
Takes place over an evening.
Just takes place in an evening. Yeah.
Yeah. A couple hours maybe.
Yep. It was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can go into the plot, but I think we're out of time for this segment.
Well, I'm just curious. We have a second here. So why, I mean, what makes these type of the course of a limited day? Is there something? Are you more interested in this type of story? Does it depend on the story? What makes this type of film over the course of just a shorter time period? What makes this more interesting or intriguing to you in general? So, any thoughts on that, Nick? Why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I don't know that it makes it more or less intriguing, but I do think I appreciate it. Like, it's interesting the way it has to be written, I guess, to fit everything in and to make it somewhat conceivable that, these things could, that this could, you're jamming a lot in a small amount of time. Or the fact that it takes place almost, depending on, in somewhat closer to real time. I were kind of focusing on movies, but certainly when 24 came out, that was like a really big deal because it was in real time. Like what you were watching every, all the entire hour that went out was 1 hour in the day. And when you'd watched a season, you'd seen a day in his life. And it was really just an interesting new way to frame a show. So I think you have a little bit of that with these movies, is just kind of like it's you watch a movie and sometimes it could take place over years, it could take place over days, it could, it's focusing on a certain event, but who knows how long it takes. So when you're focusing simply on a day, it's just kind of an interesting, different way to look at a situation. It's more compact and maybe focuses on some more details of the day, or I don't know. But I think when it's that compact of a time period, it makes it just kind of interesting. It's just a different. It's not some. I think it's less common, so maybe that's what makes it more interesting.
I like it, Dean. What do you think?
All right. When you have movies that stretch across, say, years or even days, you can get more of an epic scope, cinematically and storyline wise. You can tell such a broad story with so many different characters. But when you put something into just a day or an evening or whatnot, if you're doing like suspense, it's more suspense because the time is crunching. The time, that there's a certain amount of time that this needs to get done or that needs to get done. Comedy, I don't know if it matters much in comedy, honestly. I mean, the jokes are, I guess you can there's more callback to jokes that you could do maybe in comedies. Like if there's a comedy that's been throughout days, what happened a few days ago, why bring a reference from then? But if you're doing a party scene and this is the whole night is just a party scene on a comedy, you could maybe make, you could do callbacks. You could have the different characters that are all right there in that. So again, I might be stretching for the comedy, but at least for the drama, if it's in one day, there is a time limit. There's that sense of urgency compared to a longer amount. So,
yeah, I'm with both you guys. I mean, it just makes you kind of think about it. You think about all the you sort of think about it as the regular day of what you might do in a kind of normal routine day, and when something unusual or traumatic or whatever happens. All the stuff that can really happen in theory in one single 24-hour period really can be an extraordinary story if there's something out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? So it's just very, if it's done well, certainly it's a very intriguing story. I looked up these movies. I don't know about you guys, but I looked at the list of best movies in one day. There were a lot more than I thought.
Sure. Yep.
And some jumped out at me. I'm like, I need to watch these. I'm just curious here too. We have a second here. Did any movies jump out at you that you haven't seen that take place over one day that you've now maybe added to your list that you want to check out, or maybe not so much?
Well, the one you'd mentioned, Dr. Strangelove, was one that stuck out to me that I should watch. There's again some of these older movies that you feel like you should have watched. 12 Angry Men.
Me too. I haven't seen that. I want to see it. Yep.
I think that seems like it's
Henry
up my alley.
Fonda. Yep.
So those two right off the top of my head. I'm kind of looking here now. Oh, the one I've never seen it, but it's been on the list. Phone Booth. With what's his name?
Colin Farrell.
Where he answers the phone booth and like cops are surrounding him, but he can't get off the phone, and that always seemed very. Again, that's probably my definition of suspenseful in that small time frame period.
Okay, Nick, did it jump out at you or not so much?
When it mentioned Bullet Train, that was one that I remember when it came out and it looked kind of cool. And then I completely forgot it.
It is cool, man.
Really it's
a very fun movie.
Just never thought about it again.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's one of Brad Pitt's best. Like he's very cool in it, very fun.
I agree. So I had three that jump out at me. One is, as you said, Dean, 12 Angry Men. That could be a group viewing. Early film of Al Pacino. It has a lot of accolades. I haven't seen it. The Dog Day Afternoon. I guess it's a botched bank robbery.
Yeah.
Takes place in an afternoon. It's supposed to be one of Pacino's best. And one I find very intriguing, Rope. It's an Alfred Hitchcock film.
Okay.
James Stewart. It takes place. I keep doing the thumbs up there. See that? Do it
Yes.
again. It takes place over. And apparently, I didn't realize they at the time they couldn't really make a single. His intention all along, Hitchcock, was to make a single shot film, but did not have the technology back then to do that because reels were only 10 minutes. So they literally shot throughout. It takes place over one shot, but they had to film 10 minutes, change the film, pick up where they left off, 10 more minutes. Apparently that's how that entire movie flows. It's like in one single flow.
All right, now I'm curious. Okay.
Yeah. So there you have it. I want to check out Rope.
I'm normally slinging rope.
That's right. Yeah, and one of the film is it's not as common, but it does receive a lot of compliments and accolades as well. It's 12-Hour Tattoo. Right?
Tell me more. I've heard good things about that one. Yeah.
You can check that out. You look up our final sponsor at Golden Heart Norton on Facebook, NORTON. Give them a call at 234-706-2982. Find them online also at goldenhearttattoos.com. It could be a 12-hour tattoo. It could be a 10-minute tattoo. Who knows? Depends what you want. Right? Make it your own exciting single-day experience in 2024. There you go. Gentlemen, we have also achieved another one-day experience to complete another magnificent, entertaining, phenomenal episode of the Convincing Idiots podcast.
What we did is we enlightened our lives and yours.
That's right. That's right. Especially those in Brazil.
Oh, definitely those in Brazil.
Always in Brazil. Yep.
Raise your hand if you love Brazil.
Sure.
I'll give you 2.
Whoa. Look at that.
There you have it.
Well, if you are in Brazil or any other part of the world for that matter, and you have access to the World Wide Web, why don't you head on over to Google and type in Convincing Idiots Linktree, LANKTREE, and there you can find ways to connect with us on all your favorite social media accounts. You can find all that information and so much more on our website. That's convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So for yet another successful one-day episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Millennial Nick.
Oh, I'm the Zennial Dean.
GenX Brian.
Have we convinced you to join us for another day episode, and perhaps many more in the future, of Convincing Idiots? Hey there, if you like that video, or if you just like to watch us make fools of ourselves, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you back here.
Ham gravy.
And the headset's definitely plugged in.
Yes.
I feel like Don Harvey has entered the chat. I just
your
glass and the way you're holding the phone.
I think you guys did this on purpose. I don't want to use flash.
That's how I FaceTime with your dad. You can lead
Try
a
the
horse
other
to water,
adapter,
but you
just to
can't
see.
make them.
Maybe it's a weird adapter for some reason.
The classic battle between Dean and headphones races on.
I didn't even hear whatever joke that was because
Oh, you mean,
the earbuds
oh, you
now
plug
work
it into
and
this
it went in my
phone?
ear.
Ah, shit. I can hear you.
Can you hear me at all?
What's plugged in now?
Yeah, all the way.
It seems to be working. What's plugged in now?
Yeah.
So I plugged the headphones in. It's
Mhm.
plugged in. Hold on, let me try
We can
this.
hear you through the microphone. Yeah. Yep, it's perfect. I like it. Welcome to a stress-free episode.
Convincing idiot. Here's to decluttering your 2024.
You know what they say, Nick? You know, you hold on to something, and if it doesn't bring you joy, let it go. You know what I mean?
What?
Did you have a headset on a second ago?
I'm just fucking around. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, and I couldn't hear.
We could hear you through the microphone.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
You can hear me through the microphone? Hold on, let me try it again.
Yeah.
You hear me through the microphone here?
Yes. Yep.
I can't hear you.
Is there some setting on
Go
the
ahead.
on the device on the cord of the headset or something that's not set? I don't know what would even be there.
You got Dean, the ultimate Dean headphones, where he can only speak and not have
Probably
to
has the
listen to
volume turned down. I can't hear you. Have you checked the volume? No.
There's all I see is this VOL trigger. I don't know what that does.
That button made you go
Uh-huh.
away.
Okay. There's no volume button?
No.
You said there was a volume on the headset?
What? It was up, and there's a button like for a call center when to hang up the phone, and it just disconnects.
And the volume
you
is
every time
turned
I
up.
hit that. Correct.
It's strange. What'd you do differently?
I can hear you. Oh, that the button on the side, the
volume button?
Yeah, well, no, there's a not a button, it's a
Okay.
scroll thing.
So now it was just turned down, huh?
The wheel.
No, but I
Okay.
need this lightning cable because the lightning cable wasn't even letting me. You guys hear me
Lightning cable.
from the other ones.
So the adapter. So
The
the
little
original one that
adapter,
you were
adapter,
using.
yeah.
Okay, so the other two lightning adapters.
That's
don't
what I'm
fucking
using
work
now.
Then either sounds like. Okay, all right. Fucking.
Correct.
That's all right. All right. Okay. Well,
Fucking
we hope
goddamn
you've enjoyed
fucking-
this episode of
Why that?
Tech Masters.
Yeah, no
It's
shit.
our pilot episode, ladies and gentlemen.